everyone, Tracy here with Paper Closet Designs. Today's video we are going to work on the Patriotic shopping bags. I have 5 new files and I am excited to share these with you. They would be perfect for your patriotic parties, little handouts, neighborhood gifts, so many fun things. And they come in 2 different sizes. So let's go ahead and get started. The first one that we're going to work on is the smaller one, and it is our Uncle Sam. And it comes with a printable tag. This one says red, white, and U. And then we have our Uncle Sam. Excuse me. And we have 2 background pieces in the bag. So let me show you what this consists of. Our Uncle Sam is pretty easy. He's all layered together. So we have the star, we have the hat brim, and we have the stripes for the hat. We have his nose, his mustache, 2 little eyes, his face, and then a background piece. So we're going to go ahead and assemble this piece first. So I'm just going to take my little glue and I'm going to start with the hat. I'm just going to glue those stripes on there. And then we're going to add it to the white background. And I know that this is kind of difficult to see because it's on a white desk, but it just lines up perfectly. And then we're going to take his face and glue it right bumped up to the hat, just like that. And the white that's behind it is the beard. So next, let's take the hat brim. And glue it down. And the hat brim is just a little bit bigger so that it covers everything. And then I'm going to take the mustache and the nose and kind of decide where I want them, because I'm going to put my nose on with foam pop dots. You do not have to do that. You can glue it on. But because I did not ink or shade the face or the nose, it's just going to give it a little bit of dimension so that the one color doesn't blend into the other. If you don't want to do this, you could shade your nose. You could also cut it out of just a shade darker paper if you wanted to. I'm just going to pop that nose right up there. And then I'm going to add my eyes with just a dot of glue. And I'm going to kind of slip them behind the nose and off low enough that they're off the hat brim. In fact, I'm going to lower that. There we go. Oh, now that's, there we go. I'm going to lower that down a little bit. And I've got some black showing. I'll clean that up. And then because I popped his nose, I'm also going to pop the star. Again, you don't have to do that. And you can add more stars if you would like to his hat. You'll just have to cut more out, but that's not a problem. And there is our Uncle Sam for our bag. So to assemble the bag, you have 2 background pieces, and then you have your bag with your score lines. I like to take the tab and make the opposite side my front. So we're going to score all of these down. I'm going to score the side down, or the tab down, and the back pieces down. And then we have the 2 sides, and we're going to fold that one. Excuse me, let me start over. On the 2 sides, this one in the middle has 3 score lines with like a Y. And the one on the end has 2 score lines with the Y. So the first line I'm going to fold down. And the third line I'm going to fold down. That middle line, I'm going to fold it up in a valley fold and try to fold those Y marks or legs, whatever you want to call it, up. So it looks like that. We're going to do the same thing on this back piece. I'm going to fold this one down. And then that middle one, I'm going to fold up along with the Y piece. Okay, now we can go ahead and assemble it. So I'm going to take my decorative panel. I'm going to flip it over and put tape on it. And I'm actually going to put glue up around the handle because you want that handle piece to glue down so it's not popping open when you open your bag. So now you'll want to put this on the opposite side of your tab. So your tab is over here. We're going to make this the front of the bag. It doesn't really matter, but the reason I do that is so the seam is towards the back of the bag. I'm just going to lay that down and press it. Okay, and then I can add my Uncle Sam, and you can glue it right down to the bottom if you would like, or you can add your pop dots to pop it open or pop it up. Give it just that much more dimension. I love adding dimension to my cards and bags. If you've watched any of my videos, you'll know that I do this a lot, but it's an optional step. So we're just going to add him right there. So cute. And now we can go ahead and fold the bag. So I'm going to put tape along this tab right here. You could also do glue. In fact, glue will hold it a little bit better than the tape runner does. And then we're going to flip it over and we're going to put tape on the back on the two fatter tabs. The small tab, we do not need it on. Okay. Once we've done that, we can go ahead and fold it. Doesn't matter which direction, but bring this side over to the tab and just line it up and press it down. That's what gives you that really nice crisp corner. And if your bottom tabs stick together, that's okay. Just pop them open. Okay, now we're going to open up the box and we're going to push down on the two side tabs first. And then I like to take my back tab first and put it down, kind of square up the bottom, and then the front tab, we're going to bring it back. And that way, all of your seams are towards the back of your bag. We can just fold that closed. And now we have a little tag, red, white, and U. It also comes with a blank tab, so you can do the print and cut, or you can have the blank tab and add your own sentiment if you would like. Just glue that right on there. And then you can tie that to your handle, tie it closed, however you want to have it. Isn't our little Uncle Sam so cute? Okay, if you love Uncle Sam, here is our large one. And this is our Patriotic Gnome, or our Uncle Sam Gnome. So he has a little tag that says, I want you. And I did this one with both printed paper and solid cardstock. You can do whichever you want. This is some of the printed paper that I sell from Paper Closet Design. And you can print this out. I've got a video showing you how to do it so you don't have to print a whole sheet. Or you can do the solid cardstock. So then you'll have your background pieces, your decorative panels, and then we have our Uncle Sam. And he's kind of fallen over a little bit, but let me show you what we have. So we have our hat. Our hat consists of 3 pieces. We have the stripes. We have the blue part of the hat. And we have the hat band, and then there's 2 stars. Oops, and I just dropped one. There it is, he's on his pants. We have the 2 stars, and they're kind of tiny, but they will cut out just fine. You can use those or delete them if you don't want to. They go on the hat. Then we have his mustache and his beard, and the nose. For his shirt, we have or jacket, there's a few layers. So first off, we have 2 little buttons. And again, they cut out kind of small, but your machine will do them just fine. You may need to get a pin and poke your holes out, or you could use some brads or something else that you have on hand, or leave the buttons off. You don't even have to have them. The jacket has 2 sleeves, or sleeve cuffs, excuse me. 2 hands. And then the jacket has 2 pieces. And the reason I cut this out as 2 pieces is if you want to ink them up and give it some shadow and give it some dimension, you can do that. You could also cut one out of a lighter paper. But there is your jacket. If you don't want all that detail, you don't have to cut this sleeve part out. You could just cut this out. But I like it with both of them. And then the pants have the red stripes. We have his feet, and then you have the little background. So on this one, I am going to ink it up just a little bit. So let me get out. When I do my shadowing, I use the distress crayons. So let me do that really quick, and I'll just show you what I'm going to do. So I'm going to darken up the dark blue. So I'm going to use my black. And let me find a sponge. These are just makeup sponges cut in half, and you're just going to color on one edge. It's always takes a little more ink or crayon when you're using your sponge for the first time. I just hang on to these until they get really gross. And then you're just going to ink the edges of that sleeve piece. It does not have to be perfect. You're just giving it a little bit of dimension, a little bit of shadow. And in fact, on the camera, I don't even know if it's showing up because I'm doing black on a dark blue. There you go. So I'm going to do the same thing with my little cuffs, the sleeve cuffs. Need a little bit more ink on that. And if you don't have the distress crayons, you could use a stamp pad, you could use chalk. There's lots of different ways to do this and to create the look that you want. I would just tell you, find something that works for you and use it on all of your projects. Or don't. If you don't like to ink things up, don't worry about it. Okay, and then because I inked that up, I'm going to do the bottom of his jacket. And I'm going to go ahead and do the hat band as well. And you could also do your legs, the red pieces, and you could do it with the black if you wanted to, or do it with a different color. But I don't know that it's going to show up all that well on the camera. So I'm just showing you how to do this. Okay. So let's go ahead and put those away and go ahead and build our Uncle Sam. So the easiest way to do this, I think, is to start at the head and work your way down. So I'm going to take my red stripes and glue them to the top. Now your background piece, you're going to want to cut out of white because it is the stripes for the hat and the stripes for the pants. And then we're going to take our blue hat piece and glue it on to the bottom. Before you add the hat band, you're going to want to next add the jacket piece. So I'm going to add that. This is the solid jacket piece. And it fits right up underneath the hat band. In fact, it looks like it could have been one piece. I did it in 2 in case you want your jacket a different color. And then we're going to take our pants, and you'll notice this bar across the top, it's actually going to slide in underneath the jacket. So when you glue that jacket down, don't do the very bottom. of the jacket. We're just going to lift that up and slide it under there. And then, there we go. Press all those pieces down. At this point, we can add the shoes. Okay, and now we can add our jacket piece, and you could pop dot that if you wanted to. We've inked it up, so it's going to show up just fine as the two different pieces. And then we need to add our hands next. So there's one hand. And here's two hands. If you like this Patriotic Gnome or Uncle Sam Gnome, I also have him as a laser file, a standing piece that you can cut out of wood with your laser file. And he's tall and just really cute. I have him standing out on my desk, or my entryway table. Okay, so next we're going to put those cuffs on. And hopefully you can see how the inking has added so much dimension to this. Okay, next up, let's add his beard. So his beard is also going to go right up against that hat piece. And this one you could also ink up if you wanted to. And now we can add the hat band. And the mustache and the nose. I'm actually going to do the mustache with a little bit of foam because I did not ink it up, and they're both white, and the mustache will just blend right into the beard if I don't. So he's going to go right up to the hat band, and then you can add your nose on top of that. Gnomes don't have eyes, or they're hidden, so that makes them easy to assemble. And now we just have a couple of pieces to add to it. So we have the two stars first, and they go on the hat. So there's my big one and my little one. It's really hard to see on that white desk where it is. And then we have the two buttons. And they just go on his jacket right underneath the beard. And my glue will dry clear, so you won't see those little bubbles poking out. And there is our Uncle Sam Gnome. He is so cute. Okay, let's go ahead and assemble the bag. Oh, I cut out some extra buttons because I was afraid I was going to lose them. Let me move those. So we have the background piece, or you can do it with the printed paper, whichever one that you choose. And we're going to go ahead and fold everything down. So again, this tab gets folded down. And this paper is a little bit thicker than the last one that I used. And then we're going to take those tabs and we're going to fold them all down. Don't look at my black fingernail. I inked it up while I was inking. Okay, and then we have the side pieces. This has 3 score lines. The middle one has a Y. This has 2 score lines, and that bottom one has a Y. So the top score line we're going to fold down. And the bottom score line we're going to fold down. And the middle score line we're going to fold up. And we also want to get on those Y pieces. And this really is a lot heavier cardstock than the some I had in my stash, and it's a lot heavier. I think this is 100 weight or 80 weight. Okay, there's the middle piece. Now we've got the bottom piece. So same thing, that top score line, we're going to fold it down. The middle piece, we're going to score up. And then those Y pieces, branches. Okay. Once we have that ready, we can go ahead and decorate the bag. So I'm just going to use my solid blue because it takes pictures a little bit better. And I'm going to put some glue on that. And we're going to just line that up. You could put another one on this side if you wanted to, or you can write a message, whatever you would like to do. Again, the front is the piece that is opposite of your tab. And then we can add our Uncle Sam, and I do think I want to pop him up just a little bit. Add some tape to him. I might run out of foam tape before this video is done. Oh, come on. And add him there. To assemble the bag, we're going to put tape on this side. Flip it over and put tape on the two bigger tabs. You do not need it on the smaller tabs. Okay, let's fold it over so that this tab and this side piece line up. You can do it flat or you can hold it, whatever works best for you, but you want to make sure that that lines up right along the edge to give it a crisp corner. Okay, and then flip it over, and we're going to push the two smaller tabs down first. Bring the back tab to the front and fold it down, and then bring the front tab over to cover it all up. And on these taller bags, okay, we're going to square it up, and then on the taller bags, if you can't reach, you can stick a ruler or something down there and press against it to get it to stick. And there is our Uncle Sam Gnome tall shopping bag. And he has the little tag that says, I want you. Has a blank tag if you would like something else. This is print and cut. And then you can just tie it onto your little bag. This, I think, is the perfect size to add some sparklers or some small fireworks, candy bar. So many uses for this size. Okay, those are our two Uncle Sams. Next up, we have our fireworks. You have the two background pieces. I cut one out of printed paper and then one out of the regular paper. This one has a little tag that says time to celebrate, and it's on a star. And then we have the firework and the stars. Now, I gave you lots of stars. You don't have to use all of them. You can cut them out, leave the ones off that you don't want to, add more if you want to. But we're going to assemble this once it's on the bag. This one is going to be just a little bit different. So we're going to go ahead and do the bag first. And if you remember from when I watched the first one, we've got the 4 score lines we're going to fold down. So this tab and the 4 bottom tabs. Just like that. Okay, then we have our side pieces. We have 3 lines on this side piece. So we're going to score down on the first one, down on the third one, come back to that middle one and score it up, and it has the Y, the little branches. When we get to the bottom, it has 2 score lines. We're going to fold the first one down. We're going to fold the next one up and make sure that we get those branches. So now that it's folded, let's go ahead and put our decorative panel and our pieces on. So I'm going to slide those off. And just add some glue to this. And we're going to use the front piece is the one opposite of the tab. Excuse me. To assemble the firework, you have 3 firework pieces. You have a blue, a red, and a yellow. You can cut them out of any color that you want, doesn't matter. We are going to start with the larger piece. So for this one, it is the yellow. We're going to put glue in the middle and just on a couple of those fireworks, whatever you want to call them. And we're just going to put that about in the middle. Now we're going to take the red and put glue on it. And then cover that middle piece up. And we kind of want to switch this so that it's not right on top of the yellow one. Some of them will overlap a little bit, and that's okay, but you don't want them directly on top of each other. And then we're going to do the same thing with the blue. We're going to make sure we get glue in the middle. And then on a couple of those pieces. And line that up so that it's kind of not directly on any of them. It will be on some, but you want it to just look like a firework. And then we have the stars. And you can put those on anywhere that you want, however you want them, and as many or as little as you want. So there's 3 different sizes. There's 2 of the large, and I cut those out of red. There's 2 of the medium, and I cut those out of blue. And then there are 3 of the smallest ones, and I cut those out of yellow. And again, it doesn't really matter where you put them or if you even use them all. You decide what look you like. I think I'll put one right there. Okay, now we can go ahead and assemble our bag. We're going to put tape on the tab. And then we're going to flip it over to the back, and we're going to put tape on the 2 larger tabs and skip the smaller tabs. You'll notice my paper on this one is a little bit torn, and I think it is on the next one too. I had to change my blade. The files work fine. Okay, we're going to turn this over and match this tab to the edge. Fold it up. We're going to take the 2 smaller tabs and turn them in. Take your back tab first and press it down, and then bring your front tab down and press it. Push it if you need to. Hold up that bag. And here is our Time to Celebrate star tag. It's a print and cut. There's also a blank one if you'd rather put something else on there. So that is our firework bag. Next up, we have a firecracker bag. So same bag. This is the tall one. You have the 2 decorative panels. You can do them solid or printed. This one has a print and cut right on the front. I don't think this one has a tag. No, this one just has it on the front. And then we have our firecracker with the sparks. So the firecracker, we have the long tail, the actual firecracker, the head, which is a triangle, and our sparks. And then we have the printed paper, either one. So I'm going to, once again, do this first and then build my firecracker on top of it. So we're going to take our score lines and fold them down. So we have the first one, which is the tab, and then the bottom tabs, 4 of them. So we're scoring all 5 of those down to the desk and away from us. Have you seen this enough yet? Okay, we have the side pieces. This has 3 score lines. The bottom one has 2. I'm going to take the first score line and fold it down. We're going to take the third score line and fold it down. And then we're going to take the middle score line and fold it up. And it kind of has that Y at the bottom that helps keep the bag folded. So you're going to want to fold it along that Y. On the bottom, we're going to take the top score line, fold it down, and the middle score line, or the last score line, and fold it up. And make sure that we crease on that Y. We want to use the piece opposite of the tab, so even if your bag was this direction, that's fine. You still want to use the piece opposite of your tab as the front. So I'm going to build this on my white decorative panel. The pictures may be using the printed one because sometimes the white doesn't always work really well. We'll see what happens when I start doing pictures. Okay, so there we go. Let's take our firecracker and our sparkler piece. And we kind of want to, before we glue anything down, we want to decide exactly where we want it. It's okay if it hangs over the edges a little bit. Just make sure you don't glue it onto that middle tab or over here. So once you kind of get where you want it, we're going to glue this piece on first. And I moved that a little bit, so we're just going to... And now we can go ahead and glue our firecracker on there. And I'm going to use the tape runner. Ooh. Okay. And we can take the top, and it is not perfectly symmetrical, so you're going to want to move it around to make sure that it's covering it. It's really close. So if you get it going one way or the other, it's really close. And then before I add the sparks, I'm going to add my tag. I'm going to take a little firecracker. And add it to the background piece. And this again has a blank one if you want something different. And I'm going to pop that up. I get going and I start talking really fast, so I'm sorry if I'm starting to not make sense with these. And I do think I'll do a little tag to go with this too, in case you just don't want the little firecracker on there. And now we can just take our sparks and you can add them anywhere that you want. There's no rhyme or reason to it. Just add them wherever you want and then go ahead and glue them down. Just make sure if they're hanging over the edge, which is fine, that you're not gluing them to the sides of the box or your box won't fold up the right way. Okay, so there we go. Now we can assemble it. We're going to put tape on this large tab on the side. We're going to flip it over, skip the 2 smaller tabs, put tape on the larger tabs. Assemble the side first. however you want to do that. You just want to make sure that the edges line up nice and crisp. There we go. And then fold it. Take the two bottom tabs, turn them in. Take the bottom, oh, that didn't, I don't know if I didn't get glue right there. There we go. Take the bottom tab, or the back tab, excuse me, and fold it down first. Take the front tab and fold it down second. Make sure your bottom is squared up. Flip it over, and if you need to, you can get that ruler or whatever it is and push that down. And there is the little firecracker box. And again, I will make a tag that goes on this too. I don't know why I didn't do that. Okay, the last one is our USA, Land That I Love. And I thought this would be fun with the printed paper as well. This is the Patriotic Words in the Stars and Stripes, excuse me, in the Stars and Stripes package. It has a little tag that says Land That I Love, 2 background and embellishments, and your USA. So this one, we are going to do the USA first. You have the blue background, you have the dark blue pieces, you have your solid red pieces, and you have your solid white pieces. So let's go ahead and add the white ones first. You're just going to center those up. Does not have to be perfect. I just eyeball it. I mean, when I designed it, I made it pretty perfect, but when you're putting it together, don't spend hours trying to measure tops and bottoms. Just put it together. Okay. Then we are going to do the solid pieces, the solid letters. And again, they go in the middle so that a little bit of the white is showing through. S-A. And these letters, excuse me, I'm struggling today, would be really fun cut out of some printed paper. You could do the USA, the solid letters, out of some striped paper, and then do the half letters out of some blue star paper. Okay, then we're going to add our half letters. And you do want to make sure you're getting glue on the right side so that these line up and are going in the correct direction. And there's no shadow behind the blue pieces, just the top that sticks out. So the blue looks like it's right on top of the white. I thought it would be easier to do it this way than to cut the letters in half and have you line up the top and the bottom. All right, and since I'm gluing right now, let's just go ahead and glue on our little tag that says Land That I Love. You do have a blank tag if you'd rather have something else. Okay, then we have our bag. So we're going to take our bag and we're going to score along the top tab, that's the side tab, and then we're going to score down on the bottom tabs. Okay, then we have 3 lines in the middle. That makes you the side, so we're going to take that top one and score it down. Take the third one and score it down. Take the middle one and score it up. Make sure that you get those white pieces. The white pieces don't have to be perfect. As you fold the bag, they'll just kind of fold on their own. Okay, top line on the bottom, we're going to score down. And that last score line that's in the middle with the Y, we're going to score it up. Make sure you get those Y pieces. Okay, let's go ahead and assemble this. I'm going to take my decorative panel, and I always like to add glue around the handle piece. My tape runner is a little too big, and I want those handle pieces to be down solid so that they don't pop up when we're playing with the bag. Just line it up. To assemble the bag, let's put our USA on there. Whoa, and I do think I will put that up with some dots as well, some foam. Yes, can't forget our USA. That's the whole reason we did this. And for my Canada friends, I am working on some Canada bags. They're in the works. They're not done yet, but we're getting there. Can't forget our Canada friends. Go ahead. And you can run USA either direction. I kind of like it that way. And if you wanted to, you could cut out some extra stars to kind of decorate that up, or just leave it as is. Okay, we're going to go ahead and tape down that last tab. Fold it over so you're on the back. We're going to skip the two smaller tabs and tape on the larger tab. Fold it over and line that up. Pop it open. We're going to take those two smaller tabs and fold them down first. The back tab goes over next, and the front tab goes over last. Kind of square up the bottom, flip it over, take your ruler. Whoops, I just dropped my ruler. Anything that you've got on hand, the scissors aren't long enough, and just press that down. I'm going to have to, it fell between the cracks. And there is our USA land that I love. So let's bring all of these back out. Hopefully we can get them all on the camera. And that is our 5 patriotic shopping bags. Oh. I hope that you'll give one or all of these a try. Such fun projects for this coming month. Thank you for joining me. Please hit subscribe down below so you don't miss any of my videos. Give me a thumbs up and have a great day.